In this video, we are showing you how we take an initial investment of £65 in this case, and we turn it into more than £1,000 worth of wooden items. To start us off, you can see on screen, this is where we have put our investment into. An oak display cabinet that we managed to get from a local charity. We paid £65 for it, and it is solid oak. So when we go and purchase something like this, the first thing that we do is, where possible, you check the item over thoroughly. Are there any issues with it? Does it have any problems? On the back panel, you can see signs of woodworm. Now that is something then that you check out. Is it just in that thin back panel, or has it spread to other parts of the furniture? You check, is the wood solid? Are there any issues there? For example, is it a good laminate? Is it a good veneer? Check it over before you purchase it. In this example, we checked it thoroughly. We were happy that that woodworm hadn't spread throughout the piece, and we proceeded to purchase and have the item delivered to us. As it's worked out, it's been a fantastic investment for us, and we have managed to make numerous items. So starting off, you have the inside frames, the side panels, the shelves themselves. This wood is fantastic because it's furniture. You don't have to worry about seizing in it, and that is then ready for us to take the finish off and to prepare and to proceed with making a variety of different wooden items from. When purchasing furniture like this, it's not as simple as you just go straight into making. The first thing we have to do is to dismantle it. The first stage of making a profit on an investment like this is to dismantle the furniture. Over the years, we have bought some pieces of furniture and we just haven't had the heart to break it up, because we know the work that goes into making these pieces. It is a shame to do this, but it is worth noting this is wood that nobody else wants. Dealers, they don't want to buy these things. There's too much work in restoring it, and so that is why we give it a new lease of life in turning it into love spoons and various wooden items. We go through that process of dismantling using the hammer, the crowbar, any method to break it all apart. And in this, you see the different processes that have been used to make the furniture in the first place. It is an investment of time, so that is a consideration. If you don't want to spend the time breaking up the furniture, making it safe, removing nails and screws, then that is the downside of sourcing wood in this manner. But for ourselves, we feel that it's worth the investment of time, and it's great to be able to give unwanted furniture a new lease of life. Time is definitely a consideration then when it comes to sourcing your wood in this way, because we have to scour through, for example, charity shops, auctions, sales, clearances, this sort of thing, to find the right woods, because we want solid hardwoods, but we're not willing to pay the same sort of prices as the dealers are. That is the process of sourcing wood from furniture that we go through. As you can see, you can get hold of a large quantity of woods, which, if we're being honest, if we just broke up, put through the planer and cleaned it up and then sold it again, we would make a profit on. However, the way we add value is to hand carve it to add extra value to it. So that is how we add value to the wood that we've bought. Now on screen, you can see some of the different projects that we have managed to make from this wood. Our spoon to record 2021, that was the year we bought this item, was hand carved from this wood. We also did some very elaborate designs, some requests that we had. And the reason that this furniture wood is so good is because it is high quality oak, it's easy carving, it has beautiful character in the woods, and it is large enough for us to be able to do these projects in. So in total, we have actually managed to hand carve in excess of £1,000 in different love spoons and wooden items from this project. Let's just go through one example of how we've made an item from this wood from start to finish using reclaimed wood from furniture. We work out for where we are going to position the design. You do have to spend a little bit of time working out where the design is going to go, because you have to avoid any nail holes, any screw holes, holes where dowel has been placed into it. You have to check the wood for any joins, because the furniture makers were very clever at covering their tracks, and you work out where the design is going to go. We go across to our bandsaw, and what we're doing is to cut on a few little angles, and we're cutting to the width that we can use to mark out. Because, for instance, we have to get rid of those two pieces of dowel that are sticking up in the air. Now, by doing things in this method as well, as we're going along, it allows us additional opportunities as we're cleaning up the wood to check for any issues that might arise. We go across to the belt sander and we clean up the two faces, front and back, ready for us to proceed with this process. Again, once you've cleaned up those faces, you can check the wood over. Has it revealed any issues, any problems, any joins in the woods? If not, we then add our PVA glue to our paper design. We add water to the wood itself, and we stick our love spoon design onto the woods. We have to wait some time for the design to dry, and the first part of the process is to router the bulk of where the bowl is going to go. Simple reason we do this: we make love spoons on a daily basis, and if we can reduce some of the pushing that we have to do, it is a massive bonus for us. Back across to our bandsaw and cut around a basic profile of the love spoon. We use the pillar drill to drill out the holes that will be used later on to do the pierce work on the scroll saw in the design. From there, we would also, off screen, sand the back of the item again to get rid of any lumps or bumps that make the scroll saw work more difficult. We're on to the scroll saw itself, and we use that to do all of the pierce work. So the scroll saw gives us a lot of the detail and that basic outline and profile to work from. So using those drill holes that you have done previously, you can follow the guidelines and cut out all of the gaps in between the various shapes that you have prepared in the design. Once we have finished on the scroll saw, we then go across to our workbench and we put the love spoon into the vise and we start to hand carve it. The first thing that I usually hand carve are the bowls. So we hand carve the bowls using the correct number gouge to get a nicer finish after we have used the router, and proceed to do all of the detail in the design. What I generally do when it comes to hand carving, I will pick out the part of the design that either I am least familiar with carving or that I expect to provide the greatest challenge when it comes to carving, and I hand carve it. I started with the oak leaves towards the top of the design. I then hand carved our daffodils, the eternity sign, followed then by the surround of the love spoon itself. From there, we would add 3 coats of shellac sanding sealer, rubbing it down in between each coat, and then a final coat of linseed oil mixed with beeswax. So using our standard methods, we can turn this unwanted wood from the furniture into a wide variety of wooden items, and on our initial £65 investment, we can make more than £1,000 back. The other advantage, it also makes us an eco-business because we are recycling and reusing things that nobody else wants and turning it into something that will be treasured, we hope, for years to come. If you've got any questions about that, get them into the comments section. It's always great to hear from you. If you're new here and you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you know when we upload another video. And as always, thank you again for watching.